Good day, Ross Jason Boham. It's the first month, 24th day of 2006. Today is for the BC government, Christy being the head, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for the rest of the Canada. For the intent to harm, knowing human rights violations of inadequate living standards, human rights violations which you allow for people in jail to have 3 meals a day. They got their beds paid for, and internet for free, and telephone for free, and all that type of stuff for free. We all know human rights looks after people in jail. They're not doing a good enough job for people on social services, for their retraining, adequate food supply being 3 meals a day, and rents. All their checks are going out to pay out their rents, and not enough money to pay for it. I'm a single man. I get $900 a month with CPP disability, same with it was my social services, and I get $320 for food, which $100.20 pays for my internet so I can have entertainment and communication to the outside world, which social services once allowed a telephone and does not, according to the people at the social service Comox Valley. Anyhow, internet should be free for anybody on social services, period. Our world is just a giant motel anyways, is it not? Just with a different number for each room. Anyhow, inadequate living standards. Young kids can't go join sports programs to get fit and healthy. Obesity problem isn't from overeating, it's from a chemical in the foods. And they need adequate food and fitness to be fit to combat on this obesity problem as well. As for adults too, needing retraining. It takes money to make money, so they can't get a higher education if they can't have money to make more money, being an education that gives you a higher standard of living after you're done. Period. Or access to joining the military, which is a human right as well, or be conscripted when a war breaks out and it's too late. People want to make a wage and have a career, and in the military, they can learn everything from construction to driving trucks to flying airplanes to forest fighting to working in farmyards and any type of construction as well for trade work, period. So there's nothing wrong with being a private or a sergeant all your life, working for the government, cutting costs rather than having privatization. Our country is intending to harm human beings, anyone who's making an inadequate living standards by a different tier of poverty, even being higher than $30 an hour, because it takes a living wage to live, 2 people working at 20 to 22 bucks an hour or more, according to the internet and other people. Anyhow, you're intending to harm the people, cause them bodily harm by having improper nutrients, by a dietary or Dietitians of Canada website, and they need a better food supply. So what I'm asking here is, you up social services, make sure rents are paid, and 3 meals a day, and clothing, and proper medical. If they need a root canal, you give them a root canal. You don't yank their teeth out. That's an adequate style, because dentures are useless and cost too much money in the end as well. It's the way the cookie crumbled. You're intending to harm these people as a criminal offense, and human rights violations are inadequate by the Declaration of Human Rights and the Charter as well. You're responsible for our country and our province, as is the RCMP of Canada and the police forces in every city, being Saskatoon, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto, the Ontario OPP, Vancouver and Victoria police departments, for the safety and protection of the people. And that is protection of the people, from the homeless to the poor working class, so that they can survive and live in an adequate lifestyle. I'm ashamed of our government that they won't help out the poverty and those in need in this country, because they'd rather spend $3 billion a year in foreign aid but not help the poverty in retraining them and giving them an education and foods, but ship the money off and neglect the military of Canada as well, because they could be doing jobs for the government, saving money in many different fields, from border patrol, coast guard, factories, mining, forestry, forest fighting, looking after water dams, water treatment plants, food supplies from contamination, and all kinds of other things that they're not being used for. Privatization doesn't work. The tycoon wants to make too much money. In my life, housing has gone up too much. In 1976, a house was worth $36,000. A journeyman construction worker was making $20 an hour and paying $200 for mortgage. That same house today, they'd be paying $1,400 and some, and making maybe $26 an hour now. Minimum wage in my lifetime since 1991 has gone from $7 to $10.45, and living has doubled. Inadequate lifestyle, unfair. Life is not based on minimum wage living. Housing is based on, and living is based on somebody who's making $25 an hour or $30 an hour. Middle class is $150,000, not $40,000 a year. Period. A teacher making $80,000 and their mate or partner is making $80,000 in a year, they're middle class. Period. Anyhow, you all have a good day. I hope you listen to this, Christy Clark, Justin Trudeau, and all the MPs in Parliament, that you are intending to harm Canadian citizens, and you're in the wrong for not protecting people and not inflating so they can have proper, adequate food or medical in today's standard. I lived in poverty my entire life since leaving home and scraped by. I've had a few little things, but I've never had anything to pass on, never had children yet, or an adequate lifestyle or fair wages. Always minimum. I ain't asking for much. People on CPP, disability, social service disability and social services, and old age pensioners, and people who are working class poor aren't asking for much either. But a decent price cap and a fair wage and a fair go at their one go in life, from the time they're born to the time they're 99 years old, that they have a fair life by the laws of the country and human rights, like it's set in stone in legal paper, saying that's the way it's supposed to be. The UN's already notified you guys of the problem years ago. It's all on my Poverty in Canada and the United States playlist. You can go through it too. Have a great day.